Get in front of the camera. Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. This is going to be a short video, everybody breathe a sigh of relief, about altering a cable. As the title suggests, we're going to shorten the brake cable, and yeah, obviously a brake cable is a particularly safety critical item, so you need to make sure that you're satisfied that you're doing the job properly, and so we're going to do a bit of bird caging. So I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get over to the bench and get on with it. Okay, we're handheld, you probably noticed, and we're also on the internal microphone, so I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like, but good enough I hope. And we're looking at the B175 brake cable arrangement, and you can see how far out I've got it adjusted. Look, it's almost on the last couple of threads. It's no good at all. Look at all that adjuster, and that gives us at the handlebar lever a sort of, oops, you know, semi-okay, not really great brake. We really want to be sort of coming into the sort of braking area about there, but really it's coming in about there, so not great. And we've got enough outer cable. We don't want any less outer cable, we don't want any more outer cable. But we want the brake arm in this position, or just a little bit higher, when the cable adjuster is probably, you know, adjusted out to about there, or maybe there, because we want some adjustment, otherwise we'd never get the cable on and off. If the brake lever was a good lever when the cable adjuster was all the way down, you'd never get the cable on and off. So you want a little bit of adjustment just so you can get that free play. So I'm thinking that we need to take probably, let's have a look. This is going to be difficult to do handheld, but we'll persevere. So we've got about 26 millimeters. Is that right? 26-27 millimeters between the adjuster stud and the locking collar on the cable adjuster. So I think we probably need to take about 15 mil out of the cable, maybe just a little bit more. We don't want to go bananas though, but at the same time we don't want to be wasting our time, do we? So maybe between 15 and 18 mil out of the cable. So I'll remove the cable from the bike, we'll go over to the bench and have a crack at it. Okay, we're on the external mic again, so hopefully, if the sound quality wasn't very good before, it is now. I don't know, I've never used the internal mic on this camera. Might be alright. Anyway, we're on the external, and we're on the bench. I'm not sure if you can see, because I can't focus this camera, it's one of these action cams, and it's an Akazo. Very good. I'm very, very pleased with it. But you can't focus them. So if you can read the numbers on the steel scale, then fantastic. If you can't, then I promise I won't fiddle you. I'll tell you what they are. So I think we're going to have to do it at the handlebar end of the cable end. It is a cable at the handlebar end, because I don't think we'll get the bird cage tool in on the other end with the clevis there. So we'll do it at this end. We've got a new nipple, not a dirty word. Gusset is a dirty word, but nipple isn't. So we've got a new one, which I keep a few of these different ones in stock. And we're measuring the free length at the handlebar end. I'm trying not to get in the way, and I'm getting about 106. So I said about between 15 and 18. I think we'll take the 18. Be a bit greedy. So that gives us 88. So, true Blue Peter fashion, I've got my marker pen at the ready. And I'm going to mark it at 88. I need to be right in the middle of that mark. I mean, it's not an exact science, is it? We could probably lose half a mil here and there, but just by cutting the cable, but it should be something like near. Then what we'll do is, once we've cut the cable, we will slip the new nipple over the cable, and then we need to birdcage it. What do I mean by that? Well, we need to basically put a ball end, like a little globe on the end of the cable, to stop it from pulling out of the nipple. Now, if this was a throttle cable or something like that, I mean, you've seen those little tiny nipples on throttle cables, they're hardly bigger than the cable itself. You just solder them on, because they're not going to pull out, you're not going to put that much force through them. But a brake cable, well, when Postman Pat pulls out on you, no slur on post office, it could be anybody, Billy the Butcher pulls out on you in his van, you're going to be hauling on that brake like your life depends upon it, because it does. And it's a BSA Bantam, so you haven't got any brakes in the first place, so you really are going to be giving it everything you've got. And you don't want it to, you don't want the cable to pull out the nipple, do you? Because that would be a bit of a disaster. So what the bird caging does is it creates a ball on the end of the cable, as I've already said, that's pretty much the same size as that recess in there, that sort of countersink hole. And then you solder it, and you get all that surface area. So it bonds, it solders the end of the cable and the bird cage to the nipple, but also creates this huge sort of soldered ball on the end of the cable, stops it from pulling out. It's impossible for it to pull through the 2mm or whatever size hole that is in the end of the nipple. Whereas if you just soldered the cable in there, it could pull through there because it's the same size as the cable, or just a little bit bigger. So you get my point. You're creating this surface area that won't pull out when you really need it to stay in there, because you don't want making a cable to be your last act on earth, do you really? So yeah, if it's something like a brake cable, don't even do it if you haven't got a bird caging tool. Get somebody else to do it that has, or speak to Venehills or something like that to make you a cable. So we'll go over and we'll have a look at the bird caging tool in a minute, but let's just cut this first. And I've got a pair of cutters. Grab them. Not very Blue Peter. I had to get the toolbox for them. These are my cable cutters, and they are specifically for cutting Bowden cable. They're made by Draper. Other makes are available. 5mm diameter wire rope, 1.5mm diameter spring wire. So you should be able to get yourself a set of these, but they cut Bowden cable really well. So I said somewhere in the middle, didn't I? And they won't, I say they won't, they'll probably call me a liar now. They won't make a mess of the cable and make it all sort of spiral out at the end. There you go. Gone. Well, for all that talk about microphones, the microphone battery went flat. So there you go. So many things you've got to charge up these days. Anyway, that fits on there nicely now. Just needed to deburr it. I can hold it still, you can have a look. There you go. There's a bit of a Raymond on there. Think about it long enough, you'll get there. And yeah, that slips on there nicely. Do the bird cage. We'll give it a good clean up with some solvent and dip it in the solder. Job done. Yeah, it's a fairly simple task, but one that you need to take a little bit of care over and just take your time with. And right, I've taken you off the small tripod, put you on the large tripod, and now you can get an overview of the vise and what we're about to do. And this is the kit we're about to use. This is the bird caging kit. This is a Venil kit. And it comprises of 2 half clamps and 3 little punches, stamping punches with different size. Hopefully you can see that. Small, medium and large. And they form the bird cage in conjunction with the little recesses or little holes. You can see in there, look, you've got slots for different size cable. And you've got a different size recess, so depending on how big the cable is, you get different depth of recesses, so you get a larger or a smaller bird cage. I think we need the middle one, the 2mm one, which is what we're using. Now, as I say, this kit's made by Venil. I've had it quite a while. I haven't used it very often. And shall we just say they don't give them away. So if you don't fancy buying one, my advice to you is to go over and see Dale Swager, who's another YouTuber. He's in America, he's in Montana. A lot of you probably already watch him. But if you go over to his channel and have a look for cable making and bird caging, you will find, shall we say, an alternative to buying a bird caging kit. And you'll also get a much better tutorial on how to do cables than I can do for you. Dale leads and we all follow. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, I recommend his channel to you. So we just want to get this kind of level with the top, just below the level of the hole. Can be a bit tricky because you're trying to push the cable through and it doesn't want to go, and then it goes too far. But that's about right there, I think. Just going to use the punch just to tease it down a little bit. That's it. Right, so we've got the nipple on already, because it wouldn't work if you did this without the nipple fitted. Small, medium, large. We've got the medium one. And then we're just going to get a little ball peen hammer. We just grab that. Oh, let me just kick the camera. At least you know it's me, don't you? Oh, already had the ball peen hammer. What a Charlie. What an absolute Charlie. Right, we're going to do it. Make sure the vise is done up. Put the bird cage in, punch in, or dolly, or whatever you want to call it. And we are going to do that. And there we have it. in shot. Bit of focus. The bird cage. And as you can see, it looks like a bird cage. For an incredibly small bird. And then our nipple. Just like that. So once we've got that soldered up, that won't go anywhere. The next phase is the cleaning phase. So let me get set up for that. Okay, back to business then. So the first thing we need to do is clean everything. So I've got some acetone. I'm going to give everything a really good clean with the acetone. Make sure there's no grease on it. I really recommend this as a solvent because it really does work well. It's not very expensive. You can get, you know, I mean, people have it in there around the house for various uses, don't they? Cosmetic uses, shall we say? Nail varnish and all that kind of thing. I don't know. That might be your bag. Might not be. I don't know. Yeah, it's easy to get hold of. That'll probably do us. Make sure I don't drop it on the floor. We'll have to do it all over again. Right, we'll get rid of that, get it out of the way. We don't want to be mixing that stuff with fluxes or other chemicals. That would be a bit of a bad day out. Right, solder. So I've got some solder in the solder pot, melted. This is the solder pot here. It's electrically powered. It's got Chinese writing on it, so you can probably draw an inference from that. Model number is SKU 307118. I've had it quite a few years, and I only use it for this. I only use it for doing cables. I don't use it, you know, I don't leave it on and walk away or anything like that. It's only ever used under supervision. I cast no aspersions. I'm just saying that I use it under supervision. It's a thing that gets hot and melts solder, so common sense prevails. And then the solder that's in there, I'm using a silicon lead solder, but you can use a silicon copper solder as well. It's up to you. Why am I using that particular solder? Because some of the cables I do are stainless steel, and you can never really be 100% sure what you've got. And people say, oh, a magnet sticks to it, it's not stainless. That's not strictly true, because a magnet will stick to martensitic stainless steel in various degrees. So, yeah. And it's difficult to solder with stainless steel because you get chromic oxides because of the chrome that they mix in to make it stainless steel. So very persistent oxides. The whole point of stainless steel, isn't it? This is the flux I use. It's a fluid. It's called A8, that's alpha 8, and again, it's good for stainless steel, but it's good for other stuff as well. And I'm just going to dip it in there, and then we're going to put it into the solder pot. Oh, tell you what I haven't got, distilled water. I need to get the distilled water. Stand by. Right, I've got a little cup full of distilled water. Does it have to be distilled water? Not really. It's a metallurgy thing. Let's not go there, eh? We'll just leave it alone. I use distilled water, and it works for me. So we're going to go into the flux now. This is the A8 flux, alpha 8, zinc chloride and hydrochloric acid. Make sure we give it a really good bath. Then get it out of the way, because we don't want to be knocking it over, getting it everywhere. And then we're going to go a little bit of a dab on the cloth. clean cloth obviously, and then into the solder. I put a bit more soldering really, but okay, I'll just let that set. And then into the distilled water. Then we have our control cable. We may just have to do a little bit of filing to get the excess solder off, but yeah, soldered all the way through. That should not come off. That's the cable refitted. That's a lot better. So we've got a bit of range of adjustment for the shoes to bed in, and that lever's a lot better. You're kind of right in the leverage zone where you want to be. As I say, it will come back further to the bars as the shoes bed in, but there's a bit of adjustment down there still. I could probably go on a little bit more, to be honest with you. I'd probably take another 2mm maybe, but not to worry. It works, and we've got adjustment, or scope for adjustment, so that is a bit of a win. Box of cable bits and things down there. That'll have to go away and tidy it up. So that's all the cables done. Oops, we've got the throttle cable. Oh, just need to fit the air lever for the choke cable. Got the clutch done. And that cable didn't need any work. It works straight out of the packet, so that's good. Yeah, it seems to be a funny thing with brake cables. You can buy a brake cable for the same bike from different manufacturers, and they're different. And we had, I had two. I had a D7 one, and I had a supposedly B175 one, and neither of them worked, which is why we've had to do this. Not to worry, it's done now, and hopefully, maybe somebody out there has had a pointer on how to alter a cable. And perhaps for, many of you, it's just been a bit of a revision or reinforcement of what you already knew. But I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. So I think we'll call that it for this video. Much shorter than my usual offerings. I think this is quite a good format actually, to do a shorter video on just one thing. I will still do the longer videos, but yeah, quite enjoyed doing this. Just do one little job and wrap it up in one video. I quite enjoyed it, and I hope that you have too. Thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. As ever, thanks to all my subscribers. Again, some new ones have come along, so welcome aboard. New friends are always welcome. I always say that. And those of you who've been with me for a while, thank you very much indeed for sticking with me. And if you're not subscribed, we won't cost you a shilling, and you might enjoy it. You never know. Come along and join the gang. So yeah, that's it from me. Mind how you go, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.